If someone handed me $1 million and told me to invest it in Antigua, I'd know exactly what I would do with it. Not because there's one obvious answer, as there isn't really, but after 20 years here, you start to see what performs and what holds its value, what rents, and honestly, what people end up regretting. And that changes how you look at every single decision. So today, I'll walk you through how I'd actually deploy $1 million in Antigua right now, where I'd buy, what kind of property, I'd weigh up the returns against lifestyle, and how the whole thing shifts depending on whether you want citizenship by investment as part of your plan or not. This is the way I'm going to talk it through with you, like we were having a coffee. Not a brochure, not a sales pitch. Always do your own due diligence before any decision. And if you'd like to talk through your own situation, there is a link below to book a call with me. Let's get into it. Section 1, how I'd think about 1 million in Antigua. The framework. Before I even think about a specific property, I think about 3 things. And these are the 3 things I tell every single client. Can I earn rental income here? Will I genuinely enjoy my own holidays here? And can I sell it when I need to? If a property gives you all 3, you're onto something. And honestly, location is everything. It doesn't even matter what price point you're coming in at, whether it's 350,000, 10 million, or even 40 million. Get the location right and everything tends to follow. So the real question is always, what is the right location for you? The one thing I'd settle early is whether citizenship is part of this or not. It's not a detail you tack on at the end. It changes which doors are open to you. So let's decide that first, and then I'll show you both paths. So what does $1 million actually buy you here right now? Genuinely, quite a lot. In a gated community like Jolly Harbour, you could be looking at a 3-bedroom property such as Ocean Breeze, around 945,000, or a 2-bedroom Jolly Harbour villa with a boat moored right outside your door from about 765,000. Go a little bit above that and you're into a brand new 4-bedroom home with a pool at the Oasis. And that's a great option because it's also approved by Citizenship by Investment, and it's a genuine lifestyle home at the same time. And also you have from $895 up to $1.2 million, you have 1-bedrooms and studios at the Nikki Beach Resort, which are also approved by the Citizenship by Investment program. Over in Fishers Creek, you have Powell's Estate, which is a gorgeous 3-bedroom detached home with a pool, and it has a separate cottage that you can put on Airbnb for an income stream. Or you can buy a piece of land and have a builder do a turnkey build for you. There are some great turnkey opportunities coming up in the market right now. Honestly, if it was my million, I'd start with the location, not the building. I'd find the right spot that gives me rental income, holidays I love, and a property I can sell when the time comes. And then I'd find the right home within it. The CIP strategy, where I'd put 1 million if citizenship by investment is the plan. If citizenship is part of the goal, your money goes into a government-approved real estate development. There's a minimum of 300,000 and you hold it for 5 years. And here's where I gently challenge how most people think about this. If the passport is really what you're after, there's a lot of value in buying something rather than just giving the donation. Instead of giving the government around 230,000 into the fund and getting nothing back, you could put 300,000 into a 1-bedroom that earns you, say, 3 to 6% a year. You hold it for 5 years and then you sell it. And the next buyer also gets citizenship. The beauty of that is you're tying up a smaller amount of money. You get the passport and you get a little return along the way, and you get to keep the rest of your money free for the home that you actually want to live in. The market for citizenship approved options is limited at the ground floor level. So if there genuinely isn't an approved property that fits what you really want, then buying a smaller investment just for the passport is a fantastic option. To me, it's the clever move. And here's one a lot of people haven't even thought about: fractionals. A share in a beautiful home with a pool in a great location just for the purpose of getting the passport for you and your family. You can spend around 6 weeks a year there, or even rent it out when you're not using it. What I love about this is the value you're getting. You might pay around 300,000 for a share, but you're using a home that's worth over $2 million. And if you can only come for the allotted 30 days, that's fine. Your friends and family can use it, or the rental income covers the costs. So you get your passports, which is what you really wanted. So genuinely, if the passport is the main goal, I think it's smart at buying at the entry level, unless there is something on the market that ticks every box for you. And if there is, wonderful, let's go and let's get it. The difference between doing this transactionally and doing it well is just a bit of thought about the exit. Buy an approved property that earns a little while you hold it, and then the next citizenship buyer will happily take it off your hands in 5 years. Same passport, just a smarter 5 years. On the full cost picture, do look beyond the sticker price. You've got the property, citizenship processing of roughly 40 to 60,000 depending on family size, due diligence and legal fees. But here's the thing most people miss. Going the citizenship route means you skip the 7% non-citizens landholding license. And that's what an ordinary foreign buyer pays. On $1 million, that's around 70,000 you don't spend, which quietly offsets a big chunk of the processing. And the upside people really underestimate is the travel. Visa-free or visa-on-arrival access to over 150 countries. Now, I'll be straight with you. In 2025, the EU did signal it's reviewing the visa-free access from these programs. But what I'd really want you to know is that the Caribbean islands are actively raising their due diligence and their processing to keep the countries that grant that access satisfied. So yes, do keep an eye on travel positions because they can change, but the region is working hard to protect that access, not sitting still. The non-CIP strategy, where I'd put 1 million if it was purely lifestyle and return. If citizenship isn't part of the plan, you've got a lot more freedom. No 5-year hold and a whole island open to you. You'll pay the 7% license as a foreign buyer, but the trade-off is flexibility. And a lot of people think that's worth it. And honestly, I wouldn't split the million. I'd put the million in an area with the most happening, the most up-and-coming development. That's what carries value for me. For me in Antigua, that is Jolly Harbour and the Mickey Beach area. Anywhere around there benefits too. The Sleeping Indian area, Valley Church, going down towards Johnson's Point and Darkwood. All of it rides on what's happening in Jolly Harbour and Mickey Beach and what they are building. So for me, the West Coast is the best coast, and I genuinely believe that. Now, Jolly Harbour has a busy social scene, and that's not everyone's thing. If that lifestyle isn't for you, there are gorgeous options in English Harbour, up north, even over the East Coast, and I love a lot of those areas. It really depends on you and how you like to live. But if you're buying purely as an investment, and you won't be coming over very often, then Jolly Harbour area is where I'll be focusing your investment. On the rental side, the area gives you somewhere between 3 and 6%, whether you go long-term or short-term. It really depends on the property and the competition. There are a lot of factors that go into that return. In terms of what rents well, larger homes, 3 or 4 bedrooms with a pool do very well, simply because there are limited availability, especially in the Jolly Harbour area. But 1 beds go down great too, because many are couples that come on holiday and they stay in hotel rooms. So you've already got that flow of people, and the 1-bedroom apartments pick up exactly that clientele. Anything close to the beach, within walking distance of the restaurants and the shops, tends to do best. Here's something I genuinely want you to hear. Antigua has never really been marketed as a return on investment story. It's always been about lifestyle because it genuinely makes you happy and healthier. But these new resorts and all the infrastructure coming in, rental returns are climbing, and now we've got real data to back it up. So Antigua is starting to deliver both rental income and appreciation. It's become a genuine way to diversify your assets with that lifestyle on top. If you're watching this with capital ready for Antigua, whether that's $1 million or a completely different number, and you want to know what makes sense for you, that's honestly the conversation me and my team have every single day. There is a link below to book a call. We'll look at your goals openly and tell you where I would put the money if we were in your shoes. ROI versus lifestyle, how to find your balance. The truth is, most people buying at this level aren't purely investors or purely lifestyle buyers. They are both. And when someone wants strong returns and a home they love, I don't treat those as opposites. I look for where they overlap. And the great thing about Antigua is the overlap is wide. The things that make a home special, the beach, the view, the pool, the privacy, are exactly what renters happily pay for. If you lean too hard into the return, you can end up with something that works beautifully on paper, but you don't actually enjoy being in it. And that's usually the purchase people quietly regret. And if you lean too far on the other way, all lifestyle, no thought for the numbers, you can end up somewhere gorgeous, but hard to rent and hard to sell when life changes. Neither extreme is where you want to be. For that sweet spot, on the West Coast, Jolly Harbour, and anything around it, in a 3 or 4 bedroom home you generally want to use for your own weeks and then rent it out for the rest of the year. That's the property that gives you both. So just be honest with yourself about how many weeks you'll actually be here. Block these out and put your home with a manager and let it earn around your life. Let's come back to those 3 things: income, holidays, and resale, and you'll find your balance. The mistakes I gently steer you away from. The thing I see go wrong most often is buying the brochure instead of the asset. It's easy to fall for the beautiful render and forget to ask the real questions. Will it rent? And who buys it from me later? The picture isn't the investment, the fundamentals are. On location, I gently push back on the instinct to go somewhere very remote and exclusive. It sounds lovely, but those properties can be hard to rent and harder to sell. Somewhere with life and demand around it, like Jolly Harbour area, will look after you far better. On the property itself, the big bespoke trophy home isn't always the win it looks like. It can be slower to rent and slower to resell than a more well-placed 3 or 4 bedroom near the beach. Lovely to own, just be clear about the numbers. And on timing, it tends to go wrong in 2 directions. Some people move too fast on a deal without doing the groundwork, and others wait endlessly for the dip that doesn't come in a market this tight and miss the good pre-construction pricing while they wait. So if I could leave you with one thing before you commit, it's this. Be clear on your exit before you buy. Know roughly who's going to buy this from you in 5 to 7 years and at what kind of price. That's my third of 3 things. Being able to sell when you need to. And it's one of the things people most forget until it matters the most. $1 million in Antigua, used well, doesn't just buy you a property. It buys you a completely different relationship with this island and with what's possible for your life. But here's what most people don't think about until after they signed. The financial decision is one thing. What that decision actually does in your life, how it changes the way you think, the way you live, what you believe is possible, that's a completely different conversation. I've made a whole video on exactly that. What your life actually becomes once you own a property in Antigua. The shift, the community, and the things nobody warns you about. If you're serious about this, that is the one to watch next. It's right here.